Okay, so that O'Keefe's Healthy Feet works. Hold on, let me switch this real quick. Here we go. So, as you can see, yeah, the dry skin is still there, but now instead of being in big, broken patches, it's just little flakes. Feet are healing nicely. Now instead of intense, searing pain, it's just itching. Like, whenever the skin is healing. So, it's working. On both, sorry, on both feet. It's working wonderfully. So I just need to make sure I keep a stock of that. On another note, slightly more, well, way more unpleasant. Had to find out through channels again, just like when the house got broken into. One of my kids has pneumonia. Had to find out through channels. She seems to have this idea that supervised visitation means I have zero rights. That's not true. Not only do I still have rights, but it's in the paperwork that she needs to be telling me anytime there's a medical issue with the kids. It's in the paperwork. And she's treating it like a no contact order. And it's not. It's a no access order. It's not even a no access order. It's supervised visitation. So anyway, and their school was on lockdown. Some sort of threat. I don't know what it is. I'm having to find all of this out through channels. I don't even know which kid has pneumonia. I'm really, really tired of having to bring her up. I don't want this YouTube channel to be about her and things she's doing, things she's done. But it just never stops. So yeah, I'm having to find out through channels when my kids are sick or in danger. Somehow I'm the bad guy. Anyway, I need to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. As very, very angry as that makes me, my job, and this goes back to the purpose for this YouTube channel, which is to help people going through the same situation cope with it, become better, be better, right? Okay. So I have to remember my place. Yes, I'm rebuilding my life. I am, I actually am starting over from nothing. I'm not starting over with $130,000 house. I'm not starting over with a vehicle. I'm not starting over with all the things that somebody else has. I am starting over from nothing. So there's that. But again, I have to remember that my place is trying to be as godly as I can. I have to show my kids a good example. Even if I'm not around them all the time, I found out that my kids are still watching me. They're still trying to keep up with me. So I have to be as godly as I can. I have to continue in prayer. I have to remind myself that no matter what happens, God is the one in control. Not my soon-to-be ex-wife, Not her lawyer, not me, not even the judge. So whatever happens is supposed to happen, even if I don't like it. Even if I know it's going to hurt my kids. Whatever happens is supposed to happen. And a lot of people will probably get mad at that because they're thinking, well, what if something does happen to your kids? What if one of them dies? And that is something I'm just going to have to understand. That God allows that to happen for a purpose. And we don't have to like it for it to be true or even right. These rules and laws that everybody keeps citing, well, God does this, God does that. He didn't create any of that for him. He created that for us. But anyway, the other thing is I'm supposed to be spreading the gospel. And I've had people come on here before and say, oh, well, that's not what this platform is for. This platform is for people to express themselves in whatever ways they see fit. And me expressing myself is, in large part, expressing my faith. So, is it only free speech for people who agree with you? Or is it free speech? Is it only freedom of religion for people who practice religions that you agree with? Or is it freedom of religion? Make up your mind. So, intrusive thoughts. This one's been getting me. One of the things that happens as a result of trauma is the whole internal arguments and muttering yourself into a tizzy. A lot of times reliving what you went through, and of course having hypothetical conversations with people you'll probably never speak to again. But I have to continuously remind myself that is not what you're supposed to be thinking. That is not where your mind is supposed to be going. God has brought me a long way from where I started in all of this. I have to remember to give him glory, give him credit, and make sure my mind stays on him. So whenever I start having those hypothetical conversations with the judge, her lawyer, her, or even other people that either side with her or just don't know the whole story, I have to remember that's not where my mind is supposed to be. How in the world is God supposed to have room to work in my life, work in my circumstances, if I keep insinuating myself? I know you've heard it, let go and let God. That is a very loose paraphrase of, several different scriptures, all of them saying, vengeance is mine. God saying that. Vengeance is mine. Do not repay evil for evil. Leave room for God. There's scriptures all over the Bible saying that. I don't have any on hand. Sorry about that. So, my parents use an app, or they did in the past. I don't know if they still do. So, if everybody's got their phone on them these days. Everyone. Even me, and I hate phones. But, so it's easier just to carry an app on your phone than it is to carry a Bible around. I've forgotten the name of it. It's Bible Gateway. So yeah, get Bible Gateway on your phone. It's got several different translations, so it doesn't matter which translation you like. It's in there. except maybe the Queen James, because, that's rather on the heretical side. Sorry to tell you that. You can disagree with me. I don't care. But yeah, so I seem to remember that it even has the Jewish translation of the Bible. Don't quote me on that, though. You might actually have to do research on that one. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to always have a Bible with you, but you don't want to always carry one, you got your phone, just download the Bible Gateway app, and you'll have pretty much whatever translation of the Bible you want. Anyway, part of my journey is making sure that I leave room for God, which takes a whole lot of taking myself out of the situation so God can do what He wants. My job is to work when I'm at work, rebuild my life, get closer to God, and whenever possible, share the gospel. If that's not the route you want to take, that's fine. My content is not going to be for everybody. And if my content is not for you, instead of insinuating yourself and making your ego known, just move on. There are plenty of people out there with other content that is different than mine, may even contradict mine. So be it. I don't care if you hate God. Go somewhere else. And I do have to say this, though. If you hate God because of people, more specifically in this case, me, if you hate God because of me, I have to earnestly apologize. I did some terrible things when I was younger. I was not an example of what a Christian should be. So, if you hate God because of me, don't look at me. Look at God. I am not the greatest representation of a godly man. I am renewing my faith, trying to become that godly man. It's not God's fault that I did the things that I did. It's mine. So, give God a chance. Let Him show you what I should have shown instead of what I did show. Don't hate God because of me. And alternatively, for those who hate God because of people that have been in their lives, understand Jesus had problems with religious people. They killed Him. The very same people that would have been in the church pews next to you are the ones that killed Jesus. Okay, it's not about people. I mean, salvation is for people. But it's their choice to accept it, not yours. I can preach to you all day long, and no amount of preaching, teaching, or even miracles were I able to do any of that. None of that will persuade you to redemption. You have to come to the place where you desire a relationship with Christ. It's not something I can give you. All I can do is fix anything I broke, if I'm able, and to become the best Christian that I can become. And again, a lot of that depends on how much of myself I can take out of the situation. And that includes sharing the gospel. If I put too much of myself into sharing the gospel, I take God out of it. Every ounce of me that goes into a situation takes that much of God out. And so consider that a word for you Christians out there who want to share the word of God, who are having issues in your life, or you just trying to help your outlook, change your outlook to be a better Christian. The more of you that is in something, the less of God that's in it. Our egos are a whole lot bigger than our faith. It really needs to be the other way around. The prophets were humble. The apostles were humble. Jesus, according to Scripture, he created the universe by talking, and he was humble. He washed the disciples' feet, even telling his disciples, if you do not let me wash your feet, you have no place in my kingdom. Because of humility. Yeah. That's also an example of people who don't like letting people help. And I'm guilty of that. I don't like letting people help. If I'm capable of doing it on my own, I'd rather. But that I do believe that instance where Jesus was telling, I believe it was Peter, if you don't let me wash your feet, you have no place with me. That was Jesus saying that not allowing somebody to help you when they can is also pride. It's also ego. Every bit as much as washing someone's feet, or rather in this case, serving somebody, is humble. Allowing somebody to serve you is also humble. Not expecting it, allowing it. There is a difference. If you expect something to happen, that is ego. If you allow something that you don't want to happen, that's humility. If someone wants to serve you and you don't want them to, but you let them anyway, you are humbling yourself in front of them, showing Christ. So, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I am trying to be better, and I urge you all to do the very same thing. Everything you do, try to be better. You have a good night.